What if we told you that the winds of rivalry are stirring, and there's a storm brewing that could shake the very foundation of the NFC North? Could the Chicago Bears hold the key to a seismic shift that might just send the Detroit Lions spiraling into chaos? Buckle up, Bears fans, because we're about to dive headfirst into one of the most tantalizing rumors swirling around Hollis Hall. Hit that like button, subscribe for every heart-stopping rumor, and get ready, because this is the kind of nail-biter that could redefine our bitter rivalry. Right now, whispers are echoing through the corridors of the NFL, with insiders hinting at a player who could transform the Bears' defensive unit and deliver a crushing blow to the Lions at the same time. Imagine, if you will, a fresh face in a Bears uniform ex-Lions pass rusher Zadarius Smith, potentially making his way back to the Windy City, right from the heart of enemy territory. Sources close to the action suggest that Smith, a name that sends shivers down the spines of Detroit fans, has been linked to none other than our very own Ben Johnson. That's right, folks Johnson, who previously orchestrated symphonies of offensive brilliance for the Lions, now dons the Bears gear, and he might just have his sights set on bolstering our defense with Smith's elite pass-rushing capabilities. This isn't just a rumor, this is a chess game with the Lions. And if Johnson moves first, it could leave Detroit gasping for a breath of fresh air while we ride into a new era on the defensive front. Let's dive into the emotional weight of this potential move. Zadarius Smith is more than just a player. He's a symbol of grit and tenacity, qualities that resonate deeply with every Bears fan who's tasted the bittersweet flavors of heartbreak. Whether it was the crushing loss in 2006 or those gut-wrenching playoff misses in the following years. This is the kind of player who can revive memories of legends like Walter Payton and Brian Urlacher, players who embodied what it meant to don the Bears' colors with pride. A proven pass rusher, Smith would not only give the Bears' defense a much-needed boost, but would also send a message to the entire NFC North. The Bears are back and ready to claim their place at the top. But let's not kid ourselves, Bears Nation. What if this all goes sideways? What if Brad Holmes, the Lions forward thinker, decides to roll the dice and bring Smith back to Detroit instead? Imagine the heartbreak, watching a former rival wreak havoc on our own defensive plans while we find ourselves scrambling for answers. Could this desperate bid for Smith send us crashing back into the purgatory of mediocrity we fought so hard to escape? As we teeter on the edge of uncertainty, the very thought of the Lions securing Smith while we sit on our hands is enough to fuel nightmares. Will the Bears snatch him up and finally take control of their fate, or will we be left waving goodbye to a pivotal moment that could define the next few seasons? We're on the cusp of potential glory or devastating letdown. The pressure is palpable, and every Bears fan knows it. So, where does this storm leave us? With the 2025 season looming, and the Lions eager to piece together a roster capable of ambushing unsuspecting foes, the thoughts racing through our minds are enough to make your blood run cold. The fact that Smith has been reunited with Johnson adds a layer of tension that could erupt at any moment. The choices made in these final moments could shape the Bears' legacy for the next decade. The clock's ticking, and the suspense is thick like a caw. Blizzard in January. Remember, Bears fans, we're more than just spectators. We're part of a legacy built on triumph and tribulation. So, will we rise to meet the challenge ahead or stumble into the shadows of regret? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, Part 2 will be unfolding soon, and you won't want to miss it. Stay tuned, because the gritty journey of the Chicago Bears in the unforgiving battleground of the NFL is just beginning. Listen up, Bears Nation. It's time to gather around that worn-out bar top and let the nostalgia mix with the reality we're wrestling with, because it's never just football. It's about our heartstrings getting pulled tighter than a vintage 46 jersey on a game day. Think about it. We've all been part of this tortured journey. 2010, oh God, that bitter taste of the NFC Championship loss. The double doink echoing in our minds like a haunting refrain, and the faint shimmer of hope. In 2018, that turned into devastation. We're standing at the precipice again, my friends, just like when we held our breath for those fractured moments of glory that slipped through our fingers. Now imagine if this season, in all its ridiculous unpredictability, can unite us instead. Break us apart. If these young stars rising on the roster could channel the legacy of names like Singletary and Ehrlicher, those fearless titans who once defined Chicago's grit. But let's get real. Can our current squad, shackled by their own insecurities and caught in the relentless machinery of the NFL, break free from its vicious cycle of mediocrity? I'm speculating here, but isn't that the question that rocks us to our core? They've been through the ringer, and you can feel the tension twisting within this locker room like the winter chill creeping across Lake Michigan. One moment, it's vibrant, alive with optimism, and the next, a thick cloud of doubt hangs over their heads tighter than a too-small helmet on a Sunday. Word is leaking, whispers from the front office. Are they throwing more than just a playbook at the wall this time? Are we eyeing trades, looking at the draft with reverence and anxiety? More than that, how are our rivals, the Packers, Lions, Vikings, licking their wounds and plotting their revenge? Just last week, I caught sight of Rodgers, towering in that green and yellow mockery, with a smirk on his face that mirrored every 23-16 defeat we've swallowed over the years. Picture that disdain, that angst, fester in every fan's psyche, as we battle demons of the past and let that fuel our fire. With every heartbeat, another piece of our history plunges into the fabric of this franchise. Are we just reliving a rerun of 2006's heartbreak or 2010's throwaway seasons? The ghosts of '85 rise in protest each time our new players fumble their chances, giving in to pressure just when it matters most. And as we keep chanting the mantra that this is the year, do we actually believe it, or are we just grasping at straws, trying to fill the void left by our heroes? As the autumn leaves fall away, a palpable tension tightens. It feels like a ticking clock in the stadium. Will we once again find ourselves cringing in agony, or will we emerge from the ashes, reclaiming our roar, our place, rising as a phoenix, hearts bleeding with the memories of every fourth quarter? Collapse? Because I have to ask, fellow diehard supporters, as the storm clouds gather over Hollis Hall, are we witnessing the rebirth of a franchise, or just another fleeting moment that fades into obscurity, leaving us hopelessly hooked on this ever-fleeting dream? Because let's face it, the bare necessities may just be turning into bare missed opportunities, and every flicker of possibility we see could also slam shut like the chilly winds off the lakeshore, reminding us that we are still undeniably caught in a tangled web of hope and despair, and you can't just shake it off. What if the playbook they're drawing up is the blueprint for our resurgence? Or is it just another mirage in the desert of our shattered souls, beckoning us into believing once again? But can we bear the hope? Can we afford to sink our teeth into another potential heartbreak? Or will this be the time we shatter the chains holding us to the past and unleash the ferocity of bare pride once more? The stage is set, the lights have dimmed, and the climactic showdown is ready to erupt. What remains to be seen is if we can charge forth, riding high on those eternal winds of legacy, or whether we'll find ourselves lost, scrambling for answers like players caught in a hailstorm. And trust me, you can feel the rumble of our history calling us back into battle. Bear down, Chicago. But are we truly ready for what comes next?